Better Call Saul is now in its 6th and final season. The plotlines involving Lalo Salamanca, HMM, and Saul Goodman all converge. We're building up to the grand finale. Episode 5 had a scene that left viewers shocked. Howard, the straight arrow, not only challenges Jimmy to a boxing match, but wins. How did things between them get physical? Watch this video and you will find out. First up, why did Howard want to fight Jimmy? Out of all the violent characters that we come across on Better Call Saul, Howard's the one we'd least expect to resort to physical combat. He's gentle, and after the big reveal that Chuck was the one sabotaging Jimmy the entire time, we know he's a pretty nice guy. He respects that Jimmy has a lot of quote get up and go, and even gives him a nickname, Charlie Hustle. But let's not forget that Jimmy and Kim have been working together to basically destroy Howard's entire life. The glimpse that we get of Howard's home life in season 6 shows us that all he really has going for him is his career. He's a senior partner at Hamlin and McGill, and is very successful as a lawyer. So when he figures out that Kim and Jimmy are trying to frame him for having a cocaine addiction and take his career away from him, he snaps. And he's tried talking to Jimmy before, in the previous seasons. He offered him a job to make amends, and even lets all of Jimmy's attacks toward him slide. He ignored the bowling balls thrown at his car, and even the prostitutes sent to disrupt his lunch with Cliff Maine. This is probably because of the guilt that he feels over Chuck's death, and about mistreating Jimmy for so long. Howard wants to make amends, but Jimmy refuses to cooperate. This would be alright if Jimmy simply distanced himself, but he actively tries to sabotage Howard all the time. Howard himself remarks, quote, "I have a Jimmy McGill problem." So he resorts to booking a boxing match where he and Jimmy can literally fight it out. He probably hopes that by doing it Jimmy's way, he can get him to accept defeat or at least back off, though he's not so sure about that either. He acknowledges that at the end of the fight that their problem likely isn't over. So why does Jimmy hate Howard so much? The main reason it would seem is Chuck's death. Jimmy blames himself for his brother Chuck dying. He was the one who triggered the breakdown that led to Chuck's condition worsening, which was why he died in the first place. Jimmy isn't in the best emotional state lately, and we saw in his breakdown directed at Howard in season 5. He also feels bad for all the anger, however justified, he had toward his own brother. And since Jimmy is Jimmy, he can't bring himself to accept that fact. It's much easier to place blame on someone like Howard, who he doesn't expect to fight back. Add to this Howard's own guilt, so he's ready to accept whatever blame Jimmy is projecting onto him. Kim has her own reasons for disliking Howard. That's why she takes the lead in the cocaine plan, but they don't come close to Jimmy's. His turbulent relationship with Chuck is the main driving point that leads him to undermine Howard's career at every step. The potential Sandpiper payout is also a big motivating factor for both Jimmy and Kim. This is why their tensions head to the point where Howard resorts to a boxing match. And that's why Jimmy accepts the offer to fight it out like men. He goes all out against Howard, letting his rage get the better of him, but he still loses. Or perhaps this is part of another one of Slippin' Jimmy's schemes, and he wanted Howard to find out all along. With a show like this, you never know. Or maybe this wasn't part of the plan, and things will just heat up more from here. So, what happens now? After Howard beats Jimmy in the fight, we see him get into his car and speak with a private investigator. Howard asks him to tail Jimmy and get some dirt on him for right now unknown reasons. If you've been paying attention though, you know that this is bad news. Season 5 ended with Gus attempting to have Lalo Salamanca, his greatest threat, killed. That attempt failed, and now Lalo is nowhere to be seen. But Gus knows he's out there, and Lalo is smart, so he's planning something. We know that he's in Germany, tracking down Werner Ziegler's workers, so he can figure out what Gus is up to. Gus, however, doesn't know this. He gets paranoid that Lalo is coming for him. For all he knows, Lalo is watching him right now. He could strike from anywhere at any time. That's why Mike has his men keep an eye on Kim and Jimmy, since they have a past with Lalo too. Given how neurotic he has been this season, if they spot Howard's PI, things could get ugly fast. One theory is that Howard gets mixed up with Gus Fring's operation in this way, and things go south. He mistakes Howard's PI for one of Lalo's men, and an interrogation leads him to Howard, which, knowing how Mr. Fring usually conducts his business, doesn't end well for Howard Hamlin. That's why no one sees or mentions Howard in Breaking Bad. Maybe something happens to Kim too, explaining her absence as well. We know that episode 7, coming out on May 23rd, will be the last before the show takes a break. The second half of season 6 will air in July. Executive producer Peter Gold has said that the mid-season finale ends on a huge cliffhanger, so we can't wait to see where this goes. Will we finally see Howard's downfall this season, or will he be able to avoid getting entangled in the cartel mess? One thing's for sure, whatever happens, Better Call Saul is a show that does not disappoint. The wait will be excruciating, but the mid-season finale, if Gold is to be believed, will make it more palatable. Time for some other related news. Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul cameo in Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul executive producer Peter Gold has confirmed that both Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul will will be showing up in the final season of the show. The vast majority of Better Call Saul's original fans started watching because they missed the Breaking Bad universe. And obviously, Walter White and Jesse Pinkman are the characters fans want to see the most. El Camino was about tying up Jesse's story, but we got next to no Walter content. As Better Call Saul's storyline inches closer to the start of Breaking Bad, everyone has the same question. Fans have been asking themselves for years now if the spin-off show will feature the original Breaking Bad duo in some form. And now, Peter Gould has answered their prayers. He made the announcement during a panel on the show at PaleyFest in LA. He said, quote, "Are we gonna see Walt and Jesse on the show? Instead of evading, I'll just say yeah. With how many surprises we've seen this season, this one tops the list. Adding Walter and Jesse, even if for a brief cameo, would make the show's popularity soar. Some people are concerned, however, if the cameo goes bad, it will take away from the original show. But with how great this final season has been so far, they can rest assured knowing it's in good hands. We've already seen so many Breaking Bad characters show up in Better Call Saul, some having pretty significant roles, from Gus Fring to Mike Ehrmantraut, Don Eladio, Hector Salamanca, and obviously Saul Goodman himself. Even Hank Schrader makes an appearance in Season 5. If the quality of those cameos are anything to go by, this final one will outperform all expectations. Tony Dalton says the Better Call Saul ending will pull all the stops. Dalton, who plays the charming killer Lalo Salamanca on the AMC series, has some interesting things to say about the final season. In his words, the ending will, quote, burn the house down, and that the creators have, quote, pulled all the stops. Anticipation for the final season of the show has been building every single week. Just a few episodes ago, we lost Nacho Varga, one of the most beloved characters. Though everyone was sad to see him go, he got a befitting send-off and went out on his own terms. Tony Dalton went on to talk about his own character, Lalo. Lalo is an extremely charismatic character, able to masterfully manipulate people, but he can also be deadly, as one of the scariest members of the Salamanca family cartel. Still, every time he's on screen, he steals the show, from last season's interrogation at Saul's house to him tricking Werner Ziegler before Mike is able to stop him. Family is dear to Lalo, and so getting revenge from whoever betrayed him is on his top list of priorities. We don't know how Lalo's story will end, but we know it's going to be an ending worthy of his character. And that's a wrap for this video. What's your theory on how Better Call Saul will end? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. We'll see you in the next one.